Hello, everybody. Look, it's just our heads.
I'm doing some camera adjustment here.
We'll be like peeking over the fence. What's that guy's name on that show? Wilson, the
Yeah,
neighbor who just had his eyes over the fence.
size over the fence like this.
That's us here. Just the next here. Unless you want to walk around and fix that.
Well, I don't know why it's not fixing itself.
Cameraman, fix that.
I'm trying.
So, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Just our heads, though. We're just joining our heads.
Oh, wait, you're not even plugged in.
Well, that's pretty funny. You don't even have the microphone or anything.
Oh, we'll get the microphone. Stand by. Keep talking. We're not even ready.
Brett's been over here just yakking away.
I know. We've been distracted with other conversations going on here.
Crazy conversations happening. Hello, everybody. Hello, what the hells? How are you doing? Hopefully you're a little bit warmer than you were.
Can you hear us okay?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us now?
My goodness, we're a hot mess.
I don't know what's going on with the...
Yeah.
Might be using the laptop camera here. The other one hasn't taken over yet.
It probably won't because you never had it plugged in.
That's right. So we'll just make do. How's that?
My goodness. I think he's a little under the weather, so his brain is not functioning very well.
Yeah, we haven't set one of these up in a while. So we were sick last week.
We need lots of help, people.
We were sick like a dog last week. It was bad on Saturday. It got worse on Sunday. It got really bad on Monday and Tuesday, and then we started feeling better around Wednesday. But we got lots of rest, lots of sleep. Basically, we slept all day for...
I'm sick of being here.
Yeah, we're tired of being here, to be honest.
Like, I'm done. I'm ready to leave home, and I'm going to run away from home.
We got cabin fever, a real cabin.
So I'm definitely tired of the cold, and I'm tired of being sick, and I just want to go do something.
You can see we did get some lights put up. You see if I tilt the camera back? See the lights we got put up there? So they accent the fireplace, and those look pretty nice. So just wanted to show you that. Messing up the camera.
Oh, we are such a mess, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for having a lot of patience with us and dealing with us. But yeah, Brett still has a wicked cough.
Yeah.
And I think that's the extent of it by this time. I just can't believe that already twice in this new year I have been sick, and I never get sick. And it's just been rough. Yeah. So, but I'm glad to be feeling way better. Now I just want to get out and do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the energy was way low. I had a cough and congestion probably for about 3 or 4 days. Brett has that part a lot worse than I do, or did.
A lot of bronchial stuff going on.
I told him, if you just let me whack you a few times in the back, we'll get that right out.
So we went to
like the little ninja chop.
We got back into church today, and we sat in the very back row, and I had a pocket full of cough drops, but I didn't have to use a single one. Of course, when you come prepared,
that's what happens. It's Murphy's Law. If we would have sat in our usual seat up towards the front, it would have been like one of those crazy coughs you can't stop.
We wanted to be near the back where I could, not disrupt service and go outside.
But he's not contagious or anything. He just has that nasty, lingering cough.
Yeah.
So, and that in the middle of the night, that scares me when he starts coughing.
I hate it. I try not to cough, and then I'm like, oh, just go ahead and let it go, and you'll feel better.
So, it's been pretty interesting. So hopefully this week we can get back to whatever normal might be. I know we have one of Brett's appointments finally coming up. Thank God.
Yeah.
For his shoulder to see the orthopedic surgeon guy.
And that is all the way in McMinnville.
Yeah. So we got to drive to McMinnville, which is about an hour from us. So I'm seriously hoping that they don't plan on doing the physical therapy all the way over that way, because you usually have to go there 3 times a week.
Yeah, it's about an
So-
hour drive, so I really don't want to have to do that on a repeated basis. I'm not sure why it ended up way out there, but
That's just the way everything works.
yeah.
So, but it's glad to have things finally moving in the right direction. I know we got back here anticipating stuff to be happening a lot sooner, but there was issues with the referral process and the office staff in the doctor's office not putting in the correct information. And, with all our technology, you would think everything should be like super fast.
And it's not just anybody
But
that
it's
can
horrible.
do the referral either. It's not every clerk back there.
It's just one.
It's
And
just
she was
one,
out
and
sick.
She was out sick.
So nothing was going on there. They're short staffed because everybody's getting sick. Nobody's answering the phone. It's very frustrating. So it took so long to get the referral correctly. And if you don't get the referral correctly, your insurance isn't going to pay for it. So you'll be on the hook if you go to the appointment. So it's just a big pain.
It ended up being an office name change. So they didn't update it in, I always want to say they didn't update it in DEERS, but I don't think that's the system. DEERS is the Defense Eligibility Enrollment Retire. I forget what the R stands for. System. Basically, it's military dependent system. And so when they look in there to see who the primary carers are for TRICARE, they weren't listed in the right name. So their system isn't current.
So finally, that is good. So that's this week. And then the following week, Brett got another appointment. Finally, the referral went through, and that's going to happen. I know I have some testing going on that next week. And then, of course, for Valentine's Day, we'll be getting our eyeballs checked. Oh, yeah. So we got that fun appointment too.
Probably be up in
I purposely scheduled that on Valentine's Day so I could score a nice lunch out. Otherwise, I wouldn't be getting, that special romantic meal. I have to plan these things because Brett is not all about that. So,
You saying I don't plan things?
No. He used to, like when we first were getting together, the showman phase where you're putting on the show. But once you're on the hook, all that goes out the window.
See, you started my coughing again.
So now I have to plan some little things to be able to get these outings happening. So that'll be our Valentine's. We could have a nice lunch out because we do have to go to Murfreesboro to get our eyes checked. So might as well work everything we can in during that trip. So that's good. At least that's finally happening. What else?
The weather was weird. A lot of people got snow, and guess what? We did not get snow.
Florida even got some snow, y'all. And they got more snow than I think they have ever gotten. I think it was record snow in like Pensacola.
Yeah.
And we saw some funny videos of people surfing on some little wakeboards on the back of vehicles and alligators playing in the snow and all that funny stuff.
Now, when we were staying down at Eglin Air Force Base, it was cold, nippy cold, not snow cold, but I was like, just we're a couple degrees colder and it could snow here. I could definitely see it could snow here. Why is it that it never snows here? It certainly could.
Oh, so you're the one who brought it on?
Well, I was saying even out loud that, I thought if it was just 5 degrees cooler, it could actually snow here because it had the right kind of cloud formations and it kind of looked like snow. Everything was all gray, but it was just,
Hi, Mark. And meanwhile, I heard in Miami area, it was like 83 degrees, which is pretty normal down there. Like I've said, I've spent many of Christmases at the beach when I lived in Hollywood. It never really got cold down there. So,
but in places where it doesn't ever snow, it gets pretty yucky. To say that the snow helps to clean the air. It helps to make the air crisp and it kind of refreshes things. And it also kills off mosquitoes and that kind of stuff. But when you live down in a swampy area and all it is year in, year out, day in, day out, 80 degrees, muggy, humid, it's just a nasty kind of, yucky place to live, really. I mean, only gators like that stuff.
Is that why everybody gets swamp butt?
Yeah, that's why you live like that. I think you start to grow scales too if you live down there long enough.
So you're saying I have scales?
I've never understood. Florida needs a good clean snow once a year, just to clean out all the riffraff and then let it, grow back.
But I thought it was all the humidity and everything that was like living in a sauna. So doesn't that cleanse out the toxins in your body?
I think it's just the opposite. I think you need the snow
I
to
thought
clean
we
the
had a
toxins.
free sauna treatment on a daily basis when I lived in South Florida.
It's just always yucky, and I don't know. Some people love that. I don't. I like 4 seasons. Now it gets colder here than I would typically like.
I want to be a snowbird. I still want that. We didn't accomplish that very well this year. So
No,
we have to try better.
That was a fail.
We have to try better this year because we did not achieve that.
We did get down to about 8 degrees, I think was the low this last couple of weeks.
I want to say the lowest I saw recorded might have been 6.
Okay. Well, here it was 8, and we're kind of up on a hill.
I meant here.
Oh, the thermometer read 6 degrees?
I believe so.
Oh, well, I missed that
Now
one.
I could be wrong. And if I am, then I don't get a gold star today. Darn it.
It could have been 6 degrees.
Snow dolphins. Yeah, exactly. I would have rather spent more time in Florida. Yeah, that's right. You heard me say that. So I did not say Otter Creek. I said Florida.
But the snow kind of hit the panhandle, but it didn't hit much of Central Florida. It just kind of bounced along I-10 north of Chiefland, Gainesville, and all that. They didn't get any snow. So I don't even know if Jacksonville got snow. But my cousin in Savannah got almost 6 inches of snow.
But you know what I heard happened in Florida, even in the places that didn't get snow? They're such weenies that they shut everything down anyway.
Oh, yeah. Like even the town hall meeting.
Yeah, the town hall in Otter Creek didn't even have their meeting.
It didn't even get that cold. We've been there when it's been 16, 17 degrees. So it gets colder than just 30. So it didn't even get that cold, and it didn't snow, and they still canceled the
Any
meeting.
excuse to shut everything down. They shut the schools down, everything.
Ridiculous.
I'm like, that is hilarious. They'd sooner go do stuff in the middle of a hurricane.
Yeah.
But that was just a funny thing I heard, that everything was shutting down because it was too cold. And, how Florida. And I can say that because, I was born in Florida, so I'm really kind of a Floridian, even though I have left.
I think it was warmer a few days in Fairbanks this week was actually warmer than it was here.
Yeah. Yep.
So that was kind of weird.
That's what Jason said.
Yeah. They were raining and in the 40s the other day, which is unheard of.
Which it's not good to be raining because that can create some issues.
It does create issues because you still have a lot of darkness up there. And so it's going to refreeze and you're going to have a sheet of ice. And I don't mean it's just a little bit of a sheet of ice. I mean, it's an ice skating rink.
And that's the kind of sheet that nobody wants to deal with.
I mean, a little freezing rain is not anything near what it does up there in Fairbanks when it rains and then it freezes because it drops. It'll drop all the way down. It could drop all the way to 20 and then it could stay there. And so the ice never melts. Yeah,
Town Hall really doesn't have any insulation, which is another reason why the sound is so horrible in there. It's just like a concrete
block wall,
wall, floor, the whole 9 yards. So I imagine it was pretty chilly in there. But I mean, what did they have, a 15-minute meeting anyway?
Yeah, I mean,
Anyhow, just a little something to chuckle about, I reckon.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to cancel down there. You got? Hey, Skipper, how you doing? Thanks for the 2, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We just haven't been watching much of the channels, of the other channels lately. We just haven't been really in the mood for it. We've been either asleep or trying to eat something or trying to get over
a whole lot
something.
Of blah.
Yeah,
blah blah blues.
Been yucky. So
and it was funny, before we caught the second cold, we had headed to the gym that Friday, and the gym was actually closed they were doing like a 4-day weekend for Martin Luther King Day. And I'm like, why on the Friday? I get the Monday because that was the actual holiday. So we get to the gym and they're closed. And I'm like, oh, that's a real bummer. Who would have thought that? So we ended up walking the trail twice. And then that Saturday woke up sick. So it's like, oh, darn. Now we haven't been to the gym again for however long. And it's like every time we get back into it, we got to regroup but I guess you just got to pick yourself up and keep on trying. That's life, right? You just have stuff that keeps trying to knock you down, and you just got to keep picking yourself back up and getting in there.
And although it's warmed up here quite a bit, we've been in the 40s most days, even touching 50 a couple of times. It's still not quite warm enough to like bring the RV out and do some of the things that I need to do to it and de-winterize it. It's still not warm enough to do that because we go right back to cold again. We really don't want to travel in the cold or to the cold. I don't want to be wrapping the Jeep around a tree somewhere. And, the motorhome doesn't have the proper tires for anything other than dry road conditions. So it's just not a lucrative venture to go out and then get it, slide off the road somewhere.
Soon enough, it's going to be warm everywhere. Right. So you just got to be patient.
Wait it out.
Which is so hard because I just want to go.
I know we've been putting out a few do-it-yourself project videos out.
And the sad part is too, while it's been so cold, is I have quite a few projects to get done, but then we were sick. So it's like, who wants to be doing any of that when you're feeling like total garbage?
So it's kind of a challenge to keep up with the videos when you're sick. And because we still try to put 3 out a week and we have them on a schedule, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we try to keep to that schedule. And so far we've been able to do it. We still have some projects on video that are ready for release, I believe. We'd like to get to some newer stuff, and we'll be looking for some of that weather dependent or health dependent. But yeah, so look forward to doing something different. Believe me, we don't want to be stuck here either.
If it goes much longer, I'm just going to run away from home, y'all. So I'll just pack my backpack and I'll hit it.
Yeah.
Usually when I used to do that, I'd just jump on a plane and head to Ohio. So I don't know.
It's not that far, but well, have you heard they're looking to rename the Nashville airport, the Trump International?
I think that's ridiculous. Just because it's just a huge waste of money, in my opinion, when you go renaming stuff. They did the same stuff with all the military bases, with Mount McKinley, with different things like that. And it's just a humongous amount of money that gets spent when you change a name like that.
Maybe Jason can chime in. How many times has that mountain been renamed from Denali to Mount McKinley, back to Denali?
I mean, they need to just leave the things alone because there's better things to spend money on, in my opinion. There's quite a lot of things that need some real fixing in our nation. Renaming things.
They wasted, it must have been billions of dollars renaming the bases.
Yeah.
All those addresses had to be changed, not just on the base.
Jason said twice. It should be
at
Denali.
Least twice.
I like the name Denali, so I would like them to leave it as such.
They should have left that one alone.
Yeah. I mean, it's just silliness.
So it's a native, I believe, Athabascan Indian name. So just let them have that,
And it just sounds better.
Everybody knows. They know Mount McKinley just as well as they know Denali. So it's Denali National Park. It's
leave
Mount
it
McKinley.
alone.
Just leave it alone. It doesn't really matter what you call it. Just leave it. Whatever you call it, leave it.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll change any of the bases names back. And at this point, it would be so costly anyway. They spent way too much changing them in the first place. I mean, I'm sad that they did it in the first place, but now at this point, do we want to waste even more money going back? So you got to weigh that out.
Yeah, I think they should have never changed them. It's stupid. But now that they've already done it, just leave it.
Yeah, we got the
alone.
Florida crud in Tennessee. This is like a nationwide crud
Yeah.
because I know even my son, they have it going around in Fargo. It's been going around Ohio, so it's a nationwide crud.
And I wonder how much of this is just like the common cold, but it feels like more because
The weather.
the virus, and then all the people taking the shots. We don't still know the full effect of taking the virus shots and what the long-term effects of that is going to be on your immune system. Now, we didn't get the shots, but I'm talking about on a national level.
And I think during the cold months when everybody's cooped up inside and you're not outside breathing that fresh air and everything, that
Right.
contributes to it too.
It does, yeah.
And then people within a house pass it back and forth and back and forth. And then when they do go out to whatever place, then they just go pass it there and, you know, becomes that huge mess.
That's why in Alaska, you would think that, oh, that cold air up there, that should kill all the germs. Yeah, if you're airing out your house with 30 below cold, it probably would. But that's not what happens. Up there, people tend to stay indoors more. There are a few people that venture out, but they're not out there all night. So they kind of hunker down and they spend a lot of time indoors. When I was up there, you either spend a lot of time in your house or you spend a lot of time in the gym, or I spent a lot of time in the Taekwondo school. But you know, that's a sharing of germs too. Germs all over.
This has been so weird for me because, like I said, growing up in South Florida, you don't have cold weather. You don't have things to keep you indoors.
Yeah.
And so it's new to me. I'm used to always being outside. Even when it did get cold, it was so short-lived and that you went outside just to run around like, woohoo, it's cold. Yeah. You know, they had people posting pictures of them running around the beach in bikinis and everything else while it's snowing. And I'm like, heck yeah, that's exactly what I would have done if I was down there like, whoa, it's snowing. Yeah. I mean, come on, it's so short-lived. And when does that ever happen? You got to go celebrate it and act like a fool.
Yeah, there were people driving up from South Florida just to see the snow because they had never seen snow. Snow has never been that close to them, so they wanted to go check it out.
You know, and like the people surfing on the wakeboards tied to vehicles. I remember when I was growing up, we had a flood. I lived in North Lauderdale and there was a flood. We lived on a canal and all the streets were so flooded. I remember my dad and I think it was my uncle. Anyway, they had tied a piece of plywood to the back of the Jeep and were surfing down the roadways on the water on the plywood. And then we had a blow up boat and my mom kept yelling at me and my older sister to get out of the water because you don't know if there's gators and everything else. And it was coming into our house, but we were kids and we weren't listening. So we wanted to play in the water. I mean, after all, Dad was surfing down the road. You know, that looked like so much fun.
Yeah. How do you stop though if you need to stop? Cross traffic or
well, you know how dudes are. They don't think of anything like that.
Maybe there's a piece of pavement that's not covered in road. Now it's going to go.
Well, really and truly, there wasn't too many fools out there doing those things. So there wasn't too much traffic going on. But, you know, people don't think clearly. So luckily, nothing bad happened. But yeah, I'm sure they shouldn't have been out there acting like fools, but there's always going to be somebody doing it, right? So, but yeah, that's what it reminded me of when I saw the people doing that on the wakeboards in the snow. I remember that vision of my dad from when we were kids doing that, and it was funny.
Yeah.
But good times, good times.
So here at the house, we have completely shut down our heat pump system. We turned it off. Because I just got tired and I was reading other people's posts too about heat pumps and how efficient they are when it gets colder. And even here in the local area where it's been 30s and 20s overnight and then in the 30s during the day and not getting above that their heat pumps are running all day. Like, yeah, because they're not very good at heating. Heat pumps are good at cooling. They're not very good at heating. So anytime there's a 20-degree ambient difference between your outside air temperature and your inside air temperature, you start to the effectiveness of the heat pump system really starts to fall off, especially with heating. So we completely just turned it off because I got tired of it running 24/7.
It wasn't doing anything anyway.
It
It felt
wasn't-
like cold air coming out to me.
It wasn't doing much. and you're pumping. I mean, you're just waiting to break the unit is what's going to happen. It's an old unit. You need to take care of it. We want it to cool. We don't need it to heat. So we ended up getting that heater system that we like. It's propane, and you have to run a bottle to the store every 4 or 5 days if you use it heavily. But that's okay. It's a short season, and we've been more moderate lately. I think we've run it about 15 or 20 minutes a day, and then we turn it off.
Yeah, it hasn't been as cold the last couple of days. And now next week they're talking about it's going to be like really nice in the 50s.
Yeah, so then we might be able to get out and do a little bit of stuff, hiking in some of these trails and whatnot. I've heard some boats on the water a couple of days.
I know, and I'm like, why aren't we out there? Like the little kid looking out the window, like, I want to go out and play.
Right.
So that's been frustrating. So yeah, I love to go hiking when it's cold out. So I'm hoping this week is going to be some good fun.
Warmer weather, at least a little warmer. 40s, I'm not complaining about 40s. 40s is fine. I can deal with that.
The fireplace wasn't really doing a good job of heating things up. It looked pretty.
Yeah.
And so romantic.
It has a gas fire insert, but I think something is wrong with it because it wouldn't stay lit. It would run for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then it would shut off.
I'm ready for spring too. Spring the heck out of here.
So the heat would just come up behind the sign actually, and it would push the sign out like this. And then it would go up into the ceiling, and then the heat would go up into the ceiling, and then you wouldn't feel the air. Well, we have since put in a ceiling fan, which will be coming in a video shortly to a theater near you. And it pushes the warm air down.
You have some popcorn in that theater?
And it makes a huge difference.
Chicka pop, baby.
So the propane stove, I point to it because right behind me here on the hearth, we can turn that thing on and it clicks and it fires right up. It's 1 second, it's lit. It sits out in the middle of the room, and there's a fan blower on it, and it does a pretty good job of heat. I can heat this. Now the back rooms it doesn't heat, okay, but we're usually up. We don't leave it run all night. So when we wake up, it's cold. It's probably, I think the coldest it's been is like 49. So when
there's been some cold mornings where you can see our breath in here, and it's like, holy moly.
So I get up and then I fire the propane heater, and it'll have it from 49 to 59 in about an hour. So it's really fast. In 2 hours, it'll be up another 10 degrees. So it'll heat up a good, this whole main living area, it'll heat up 10 degrees in about an hour's time. And then by that time, we don't warm it up above 68, 69.
Hi, James.
68 and 69.
Well, 35 in Anchorage.
Oh, wow. We shut it off before it hits 70 because that's too hot. Because if you're used to it being cold, that's how you're going to get sick. So we keep the house cool. We keep it around 55 to 65 typically. Now, when we go to bed, we have a little heater in the bedroom that oscillates, and it's an electric heater, and it sits on a table. And so we just turn the propane off. We go to bed. We don't let it run when we're not here. We don't let it run when we're in the bedroom. It's only when we're here and in the cabin that we have it on.
I get so hot in the middle of the night anyway.
Right. We both
I
like
usually
to sleep
just have
cold.
a sheet covering me because I don't know what the deal is, but at night it's like I'm a furnace. So I'm like, could I have some of that during the day, please?
The little electric heater, we set that on 64 degrees and we just let it oscillate, and it normally stays on all night. I don't think the room actually ever reaches 64. But if you're in your bed, you got your blankets.
Well, good evening, Spawn Trooper. Thank you for joining us. We're glad you actually caught us.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah. Good to see all you guys back in the play.
Is everybody thawing out?
Our moderators probably gave up on us.
No, I'm thankful for all our moderators. They do such a good job.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you guys. But yeah, it's been rough, and I'm so ready to warm up and get out there and get going.
Yeah, we really do we'd like to hit the road. We know it's going to be a little while before we're ready to hit the road, so we're going to be here for probably at least another month. We'll see how the physical therapy goes. I don't yet know what the schedule's going to be.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be maybe some good news. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure what they're going to do is send you to physical therapy for a month and then reevaluate. It seems to be the cycle of things.
Now, this is supposed to be an orthopedic specialist who's going to look at this. Now, we've already had the MRI done, so we're going to have the disc with us.
Yeah,
we're going
so
to
he
have the
can
reports with us.
do all his own evaluation
Right.
of that.
A more detailed analysis of exactly where am I and what can I do to help preserve.
But even though he's done physical therapy already, they usually want to send you to their own and yada,
Right.
yada, yada. Because, often with healthcare, everybody wants to make their cut of the buck. So everything is drawn out and takes longer. You have to have an appointment to get an appointment, the consult for the appointment, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But this is the world we live in these days.
Yeah, they just want to make appointments because then they get an office visit fee.
I always say, man, this is why when I did have a regular job, I never went to the doctor. You don't have time for it, really.
You don't.
It's almost like going to the doctors is your job. So it is what it is. But at least we can start venturing into that this week. That's going into the right direction. Then coming up the following week, finally, we have the court date, which everybody knows about. So that's good that's finally going to be on the docket happening, and we can get all these things behind us, all this ridiculousness. That is going to be a Zoom hearing for us.
Yeah.
So luckily,
I was glad to see that.
Yeah, luckily we don't have to drive all the way down to Florida and waste some more money on this ridiculousness. I feel like we've wasted enough.
A lot of people are talking also. I know Tug has mentioned it in one of his videos, if not more of them. But that's where I've heard other people saying too that we should countersue with these frivolous lawsuits. We're going by our lawyer's advice on all that. So
we'll just see where all these things end up.
We haven't crossed that bridge yet, but anything's possible.
Melanie says Larry put out a video about it today.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to check that out. And I know the other hearing will be right before ours. Theirs is not a Zoom hearing.
Nope.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. You didn't have to do that.
We need super chats, Jason says. Thank you very much.
We can use super chats. We appreciate it.
Maybe we can put that towards our lawyer fees.
Yeah.
But seriously, it'll be good to get all these different things behind us. It's a whole lot of gloom and doom. It's senseless. It just, there's so much negativity and so much ridiculousness.
And that's why we've decided not to cover a whole bunch of it in our channel, because that's not what our channel's about.
And you have so many other channels already talking about it all.
Yeah, it's over. It's too much. It's over the top.
Why add to it? We'll try to be the positive people on the spectrum. Yeah. It won't change anything, us talking about it. So we'll just be happy to get it behind us. I mean, I thank God every day that I don't live in Otter Creek anymore. And I'm not bashing the town, but it was hard. It was very hard living there.
Oh, who's that? I'm trying
Thank
to
you,
read.
little acorn, sharing some breadsticks from friends among us all. Thank you.
Thanks for the
I
breadsticks.
love me some breadsticks, especially if they're from ABC Pizza and that spanky bread.
Yeah.
But it was very hard to live there. There was so much negativity we dealt with on a daily basis. There was so much going on for so long that none of us ever talked about. It affected my health. It affected so many different things. And I can tell you, since we haven't lived in Otter Creek, my health has improved tremendously. It also made it easier to lose weight, because when you are so stressed out all the time, you hold on to weight.
And your teeth are better.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a tremendous uplifting feeling not dealing with any of that stuff anymore. I do miss that ABC pizza. You are exactly right.
Yeah.
But I feel blessed, and I do. I thank God every day.
Yeah, it was it had run its
It was
course
hard.
for us.
It was very hard. It was putting a
Mhm.
huge strain on our marriage. It was putting a strain on the business, everything we are doing.
Now, I thought that Therese did a great job as mayor. I do. But she hated doing it. She hated it. Like, I don't know how many more meetings she, wanted to do. She hated it.
Well, it was just another
So
bad effect on my health
you can
at
be,
that point.
and you can be good at something, but not want to do it. Like,
It wasn't the position itself
no,
that I didn't like. It
Right.
was all the opposition, all the fighting, the huge
Right.
mess. And again, it was just putting a huge toll on my health.
And what are they all really fighting about anyway? They still haven't fixed the water.
So it was very hard on so many different levels for so many different reasons. And there's still so many different aspects that we have never talked about,
Mhm.
probably will never talk about. It was the worst experience in my life of living anywhere for many of different reasons. So again, I'm just very thankful not to be there anymore.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll talk about it, but it's not what the channel's about. It's not anything that we want to talk about during any of the lawsuits that are going on. So all of the lawsuits have to be done, not just ours, because what we say could affect another one, and we don't want to affect any lawsuit in any way, shape, or form, because this is just our opinion. But our opinions, we have a lot of insight. Madam Mayor being the mayor, she has a lot of insight as to what was going on behind the scenes. There was a lot going on there behind the scenes that has not been talked about. And there's reasons it hasn't been talked about. Because for us to say anything, now it's speculation. Where's the proof?
I personally have never seen so much evil in such a little bit of space
Yeah.
as there. And it's sad.
And I
It's
think
sad
people-
that people want to live that way.
I think people know who the bad characters are. They just don't realize how bad they are.
No, and I don't wish it upon anybody to have to find that out either,
Right.
because it's not a joke. It's serious. It affects a lot of people. I continue to pray for all the people involved to move past this evil. For some reason, there's a lot of people who quite enjoy doing the devil's work. I am not one of them.
A lot of it is what they're doing is malicious, and it doesn't help them. It doesn't do anything for the town. It doesn't
No.
do anything for them. It's just malicious to hurt other people, is all it is.
But I love God, and I'll continue to pray for everybody in this situation to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
I pray that the evil stops and everybody can just move on. Nobody deserves to live that way. So
Yep, Jeremy, you said it.
There are some horrible people there. It's some evil that I've never experienced before.
I'd really like to know what came of the ethics commission with Russell. Like, nothing ever came of it. And I know there were a good 13 valid points that were made against him. And what's the ethics commission doing? Crickets,
it's sad, because my personal opinion of why a lot of things in Levy County don't get done and don't change is a lot of times the different people in the power positions are also partaking in doing wrong. So it's like a huge cover up where they've all got dirt on each other. So
thanks, Slug, for the 5. We appreciate that.
Thank you. So that's another huge thing of why possibly things don't happen the way they should, is because there's a lot of people in a lot of powerful positions that have done wrong, and everybody's got dirt on everybody. So
It's a good old boy system through and through.
Right. So it's shameful to see that a lot of people are okay with doing the wrong thing. I'm not one of them. So I'm glad to not be all in the thick of it anymore.
Yeah,
And
it was
I
too much.
pray for the people that are, because it changes your life. It takes a huge toll on you.
Mhm.
And it's just not worth it.
Yeah,
It's not worth it.
we kind of noticed that just the year or so that we've been gone out of there, that Zim has been doing a lot, and you can tell Zim, it looks like Zim has aged.
You'll start to see it in
Mhm.
many different ways. Because stress, it kills. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
It affects you in so many different ways in your health. So you'll start to see it in the people, and you can even look back at photographs of ourselves
Yeah.
and see it. But
Yeah.
I know I feel so much better than I did living there, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. So in doing that, we just wanted to mention here real quick, and we're going to mention most of this in our meeting tomorrow. We're going to do a pre-meeting agenda video, pre-meeting video tomorrow.
Because tomorrow town hall meeting will be happening. They did postpone their meeting because of the cold weather. So they did not have their meeting on Tuesday. So they will be having their meeting Monday at 7 p.m. is what I've heard last.
Now, last week too was the packets for the new board council. If you are running for a board seat, people have gone and picked up. We're going to talk about that.
So that
tomorrow.
ran from the 20th to the 24th, and the deadline was the 24th at noon.
Mhm.
So I would assume that Belinda will be posting the official who's running for the 4 seats this week. That should be coming up this week. So tomorrow's video will be our pre-meeting video talking about what's on the agenda and what's coming up. So we won't touch on that too much here in the live today.
No.
So if you watch tomorrow's video, we'll be discussing that more, talking about the election and what's on the agenda.
And we know who's picked up packets.
And
there are some new names
and
on the
who
list.
has picked up packets, but the official announcement will be hung this week. And then Tuesday, we will have a bonus video of after the meeting and what happened. So that we'll put that out on Tuesday, where we don't normally do a video on Tuesday. Thank you so much, Annie. That's so sweet of you.
Thanks, Annie. Appreciate that. And we will be revealing when our lawsuit is over. We'll talk about the total bill. I think we've mentioned before that there was a $3,000 retainer. And once we get the final billings, then I'll be reaching out to the other people in the Trespass 5 to see if they want to help with that bill. And we're not mandating, we're not billing them per se, but we're just trying to, we just wanted to let you know what the final numbers were when it's all said and done, to see how much these people are hurting other people and what they're getting out of it. So, to be determined.
And I should say, this should never stop anybody from doing good deeds, helping people out, and doing good things.
Right.
We have to continue to stand up for each other and do good for each other. Yeah. So I would never tell anybody to let those things deter you from doing that. The evil people in this world will want you to stop helping each other. And that's why they do things like that, to try to squash good from happening. Please do not let that be a deterrent from helping each other and doing good for each other.
Right. Because they have nothing to do with what you do. Your good dealings, will be judged on what you do, regardless of what they do.
And again, I'll continue to pray for the people that are doing evil things, and continue to pray for their hearts to soften, and that they'll resist the devil in the future instead of working for him.
Yep.
So that's all I got to say about that.
Pretty
What else
much
you
it.
got?
That was pretty much it.
You got any soapbox?
Soapbox. I didn't give that much thought this week.
Wow. No soapbox for Brett?
Yeah.
No way.
We'll forego. I guess I do have one because it's kind of.
I was going to
related.
say, what?
There's always something.
He's always got something to say about
So we'll
something.
do a little soapbox here. Our soapbox segment will just be the people that, going back to the board, is what I'm thinking of here, and people that have reached out and tried to hurt the campground or tried to hurt us by hurting the campground by sending these agencies after us, water management, and these people. And what ended up coming of it? Nothing. Just a big waste of time. So,
well, the sad part is not only do they waste
resources,
our time and our money, but they waste the resources of these agencies that are already spread thin,
right,
and have a lot of important work to do, wasting them with nonsense. The same as people calling 911 for ridiculous things.
Yeah,
they're wasting important resources because you have to know that the dispatch crews, the sheriff's office, they're probably all understaffed in the first place. They also have
some real crime going on in the county.
Right. And they also have, a lot of their people getting sick and this and that. And you're just wasting resources with ridiculousness. So it's not even the people that you're harming bringing these agencies out there, but you're also harming the agencies themselves.
Any agencies that ever came to see me, they were all very helpful anyway. They were all very friendly and very helpful. And they're just trying to get you, if you were out of compliance, they're trying to get you back in compliance. So they're there to help you. They're a tremendous resource. And in our case, we weren't doing anything wrong. It was made up stuff.
I mean, it's even like getting permits and this and that. I mean, the people that do all that are there to educate you to do things correctly.
Right.
And as long as you're trying to do things correctly, which we were, I do understand that there's a lot of people that are looking to just do things on the cheap and not how they're actually supposed to be done. But that was never the case with us, or most people, I should say.
Well, the thing that was going on is certain people, we know who they are, but they had certain things in play that they wanted, but they were making up the list. They were making it up. The board hadn't voted on it. It wasn't in any ordinance about what the procedures are for getting a permit. And as far as I know, there still even an ordinance that pertains to it, just in general. Like, I still don't know that they've gotten ordinances written that pertain to permits and permitting and the procedures. And this is what you do. Step 1, step 2, step 3. I don't think
they haven't done any of that.
So it's still kind of a failure that they haven't done that.
I think it would be fun to convert an old van and just travel the country.
So that's my soapbox.
Or a school bus even.
People deliberately going out of their way and spending time and energy and effort calling and phoning resources and getting people involved that don't need to be involved.
Don't you think that's a sad existence?
It's sad that people live that way, that they get some kind of
thank you, Jeanette.
They get
that's
some
so
kind
sweet
of
of you.
Satisfaction from hurting other people.
Yeah, it's really sad. You think that, especially with that person in particular, that they're a retired individual, that they wouldn't be going out and enjoying fishing or any of the things that they supposedly like to do, but that's how they like to spend their days, is being miserable.
And this is what you want to do with the last few years of life you may have on this earth, when you're 80, 85 years old, how many years you got left? Is this what you want to spend it doing? It's sad.
I bet George is having a ball RVing. That was our original plan.
Yeah.
I surely didn't plan on buying a house or anything for years to come.
Yeah,
I thought we were just going to be on the road traveling away. Darn internet.
But it worked out. We do like it here, but we do want to get back on the road. So whether the weather allowing us to do that will be great.
Brett's gotten a little comfortable here.
a little too comfortable.
Yes.
We
yes.
do have a new bed that we ordered for the RV.
Yeah, thank goodness. That bed that came with the RV is like 4 inches thick,
Yeah,
and it's like it's the most uncomfortable
After a while, it's this thick.
bed on the planet. So we finally did order a new mattress for the RV, and that should be coming tomorrow. So that's going to be lovely.
Yeah.
And that's going to make a huge, huge difference.
Now,
I can't wait.
The bed is going to require me to do some refabricating because the headboard is designed for a 4-inch mattress. And if you have more than a 5 or 6 inch mattress, then when the bed tilts, the head of the mattress won't fit under the headboard. You have to push it under the headboard. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to remove the headboard and build some type of lifter. So the headboard will have to be on risers, so that when the bed is in the down position, it goes down and the head goes underneath. That's how it's made. It's hard to describe, but that's how it's made.
It's sad that for the price tag of these things that they don't come with a good quality mattress. And if you talk to anybody that owns any of these, that's the first thing they do is ditch that mattress and get a new one. Well, why doesn't the company just put the right one in there in the first place? There's so many things like that that make no sense to me, that should be right out the gate. That shouldn't be a problem anymore. If you made it 1 year and you heard all this feedback from the people, fix it. Stop selling crap.
Yeah, and these Tiffin Wayfarers, they're not cheap. They retail. Now, we didn't buy this one new, but the new ones run right around the low 200s.
That's just sad.
That's a lot. And then people are having to redo suspension kits on them, and they're redoing. I think that's a bit too much, but some people are just
I don't see the necessity of that.
ridiculous
But the
with that.
mattress, I mean, come
The
on.
mattress is really low budget when there should have been a high-end mattress put in there.
There's so many things in this world that
Yeah.
don't come complete. It's the same as I've said before with gutters, the gutters on your house. Now you
Yeah.
got to go buy that other thing to go on top to keep the leaves out. Why don't you just sell it the complete package?
Right.
They shouldn't come open. That's the dumbest
Some
thing.
houses don't even come with gutters.
It's the dumbest thing on
They
the
want
planet.
you to go put gutters on your house.
Just sell it complete the way it should be. You shouldn't have to go back and buy other things, but there's so many things like that I can't even think of. I know there's a bunch of them that
it should come with gutters.
it should come with everything complete.
Just like it comes with a driveway. It should come with gutters. It should come with a security system. It should come with all of these things that are ready, plug and play, ready to move in. You shouldn't have to add more stuff to your house. Another soapbox.
Yeah, you put the soapbox away a little too early. So, but there's so many things that they don't sell complete that they should.
Yeah.
So that's just another one of them.
Yeah.
You want to do mail?
Yeah.
We got one thing for mail
We
today.
got one thing for mail.
Look, the mailman.
Yep.
We found him in the snow. I mailed out something this week, and I think they held it in Chattanooga for like a whole week before they even sent it out. Like, what kind of crap is that?
They just hold the mail with the forecast of
You're
snow.
not supposed to delay the mail.
That's right.
But
That's willful delay of the
sure
mail.
did. And then they don't even bother with their tracking to update you on where it's at or what's going on. They just keep saying, oh, it's in transit to the next location, in transit to the next location. But then they don't tell you where along the way it's going. And then it just pops up like 2 weeks later.
So in celebration of
For Valentine's Day, we got something from Rose Forever. I love this one because obviously you can see through it, so you can leave the lid on it so that no dust gets in there. And it has this extra little drawer where you could put stuff in. And I like this one because it's smaller. So this will be good to bring in the RV with us. It's just gorgeous. I love it. And there will be a link. I think there's a link in the description. There's also a link in the channel stuff if you want to check them out. I think there's a $15 off code if you wanted to order anything for Valentine's Day or any day of the year. They do last quite a long time. They're supposed to last, I think, a year, but I've seen them last much longer than a year.
Yeah, the ones up there are still pink.
Yep. And I think the original ones I got from them, I've almost had, I want to say 8 or 9 months, and they still look as good as the day I got them.
Yeah.
But I've known some, I think the ones George has, she's had for a couple years and they still look great. So I love that. But I love that one especially because I can leave the lid on it and it won't get dust in it. Because some of the other ones that you take the lid off, you do have to dust them every once in a blue moon.
Nancy's asking if we changed our P.O. box.
No, we did not. We are still at P.O. Box 54 in Tullahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, expert, how are you? Hey, y'all, he says. Is that a fine Tennessee greeting? Hey, y'all. My rabbi says, shalom, y'all.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. But no, we are still in the Tullahoma. It's P.O. Box 54, yes. So I don't even know if we went there this week. Did we go there? We went there once.
Early in the week, yeah.
What else is going on?
That's all I got.
That's all you got? Then that might be a wrap, kiddos.
Yep.
You gonna rap for us?
No.
Or we'll leave that for Jeremy.
Yeah, he's got.
He's a better rapper. You don't want to hear our rapping skills.
No, I wish I had rapping skills. I think it'd be funny.
You know what kind of rapping skills you could develop is at Christmas time. You could wrap me up a bunch of presents.
Those I can do. I can actually wrap presents.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see that.
I walked into that one, didn't I?
You sure did. I'm waiting to see that, y'all. I got to thank Forever Roses for sending me some roses for Valentine's Day. Otherwise, I wouldn't see any of those either.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That ain't from you. Don't try to take credit. He'll be like, when someone sends someone a dozen roses and they take out that little card and they'll be like, look what I got for you.
Yeah, look what I got.
Yeah. We see how you are, buddy.
Trying to take credit, trying to get some credits.
He's trying to get some credits. But like I said, that's why I had to plan our little vision appointment on Valentine's Day so I can get a lunch out.
Instead of a lunch in. Are you tired of the lunch ins?
I got to be crafty to get some extras around here. The honeymoon is over.
Well, that's okay. There's other honeymoons.
Why are you going to have a new honeymoon?
No, we can have more honeymoons.
Oh, well, we never did actually go on a honeymoon.
This is it.
This ain't no honeymoon. I think we should book a cruise this year for our honeymoon.
We were looking at cruises and then we stopped looking at cruises. So,
well, I think we should book one.
well, there were some free cruises for veterans. And
this
then
year-
they all booked up.
Yeah,
And
they
then-
booked up too fast before anybody pulled any triggers.
Right.
So I still want to go on a cruise. This year it will be our 5-year anniversary. So I think we should do it. I've never been on a cruise before, except for one of those party cruises, which, you know, they're pretty lame. They got a casino. They've got a bunch of bars. Nothing really special happening on there. Maybe a strip show.
The bar scene's not your scene.
Not really.
You don't
No.
like the strip show?
No, not my scene at all. But anyway, I'd rather go on a real cruise and see some beautiful sights.
Yeah, I've never been on a cruise, so that'd be my first.
So how about you put that on the list to do? It's on my
do
list. It's on the top of my list. Book a cruise. So we'll see if we actually do that. If so, we'll take you guys with us.
Yeah,
See?
that'd be fun. Yeah.
For the people, not for me,
I
for
wish
them.
they don't have any cruise ships coming into Nashville, do they?
No. We'll either we could go to Tampa,
They could park the mountains and run the cruise ships right into Nashville.
get a balcony, the expert says.
Yeah.
Those are pricey,
Yeah.
depending. I was looking, there's so many different classifications of what you can get. It's so ridiculous. And then the prices are like, holy moly. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
We'll see. If so, you guys will know because we'll be taking you with us. But I'm definitely game.
Are you taking me with you?
Maybe if you play your cards right.
I'm gonna hold the camera, right?
You're going to be the cameraman. So
Yeah.
you think you've definitely got an in
That
there?
gets me out. That's my in.
You think so?
I hope so. That's my card. That's my card I'm playing.
We'll see. Oh yeah, see that's the one we were looking at, that Margaritaville one. Margaritas and sunshine. Jessica says she'll come on a cruise too. We should. That would be fun to do, like a group cruise. That'd be a whole lot of fun.
I was trying to go somewhere besides Mexico, though. I've been to Mexico, not on a cruise, but I've been across the border and back. I'm not a big Mexico fan, but I would like to see Belize. Like, if you're going to go to Mexico, you might as well just go a little bit further and go to Belize.
I'll go wherever.
Now, the rest of the South American countries, Nicaragua and all that, you can keep those places. But Belize is nice. I'd like to go there.
All right, let's do it. All right.
I wish there was a
Let's
cruise.
do it, Jessica.
I wish there were a cruise to Cuba. Honestly, I think
You
Cuba
can get you a Cuban cigar.
Cuba would be an interesting place to see because they're still so far back. They're still like 100 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, they still got the old cars and all that kind of stuff.
I bet they got good food.
Cuban food, I would think they do.
I like some Cuban food.
Yeah. But
And a cafe con leche, baby.
like the Bahamas too. The Bahamas don't interest me that much. I mean, it's kind of the same thing as going to the Florida Keys. I mean, it's virtually the same thing. I like to go to different countries. Like I would like to see Jamaica. I'd like to go there.
I'd like to go there. I'd like to go to Greece.
Tahiti, Greece, Rome. I'd like to do stuff like that. Real substantive countries that have.
Well, that would be fun if
culture.
Jeremy and George and we all went on a cruise. That would be a whole lot of fun.
Oh,
Someone said they think Jeremy and George were talking about wanting to do a cruise.
Yeah, that'd be too much fun.
Yeah, we'll have to shoot them a text. Maybe we could all get together and go have some fun.
Yeah, we can meet up somewhere. You just got to give us a head start. You can't just pull the trigger on a cruise tomorrow because you're in Florida. You got to give us a head start.
We got to drive down to Tampa to cruise out.
Yep.
So, yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Could get a group rate.
Yeah.
Hells yeah.
I'd like to do a longer cruise too, like a 6-weeker or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Cruise all over. Could take a cruise to Alaska.
That one don't even interest me that much because I know the Inner Passage, the way it's going to go, and I've been to Juneau. And
Jessica's going to Jamaica in a couple of months. Well, are you going to put me in your bags or what, lady?
Yeah, Jamaica I'd like to go and
Come on.
See, I'd like to see other cultures. Belize, Jamaica.
I'm very disappointed that you haven't been thinking about your bestie and you're making these types of plans without me. We're going to have a talk. Anyways, guess we should let you guys go.
That's about a wrap. I'll finish watching the Washington getting their butt kicked by Philadelphia game.
We want to thank you guys for joining us today. It's been so much fun talking to you. Thank you to our moderators for the lovely job that they do. Thank you so much to all our subscribers and our members. I know this week we were just hanging out at the house with the members. Hopefully soon we can take y'all somewhere. But we really enjoy everybody and all that you guys do and all your support and the love. Keep praying for everybody involved in all these negative situations, that all this can come to an end very soon.
And everybody can get on with their regular life.
Yep. And get back to living life as it should be lived in a positive fashion all the time, and pray for the evil to go bye-bye. And I hope y'all have a super good week. Anything else you got?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right, guys. We love you so much, and we'll see you all soon.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Appreciate you guys joining us.
Love you.